What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off the price action we're seeing. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with the stock market as we just got the CPI reports. That's very important for NIO and the markets, and also why tomorrow is a very important day as well, as we have the producer price index coming out, and this will affect the markets, believe it or not. I'm going to talk about what NIO announced, as they do have now a date, an expected listing date for the Singapore exchange date for when NIO is going to be listed on that exchange. That's going to be big news. I'm going to talk about that, and also what NIO put on their Twitter page. That's very bullish news for the long-term future of this company. But before I break any of this down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. And you're also going to have access to the Singapore and Hong Kong exchanges, meaning you could buy NIO on those exchanges if you do have any delisting fears. You're also going to be entered in the Amazon stock giveaway contest. So this is a limited time offer. Sign up within 31 hours at the time I'm recording this to get your potentially free Amazon stock if you win it, and also 5 free stocks and access to the Hong Kong and Singapore exchanges to buy some NIO shares. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. What on earth is happening to NIO? Well, NIO is down 5.43% for the day, taking one hell of a hit with the market. But I do want to talk about what's going on with this market. So if we look at the SPY is making bigger swings than what it normally should be making, because typically you'll see the SPY up like 0.3%, down 0.4%. But we're seeing this thing swinging 1, 2, 3% on a day-to-day basis. That's insane. The SPY is very volatile, and we're seeing this affecting the whole market. If we go down to where the NASDAQ is, right? Looking at the NASDAQ, let me bring up the 2-hour candles. Check this out. Right over here, we could see there are some gaps on the NASDAQ, but it doesn't look like we're going to fill them just yet. We don't seem to have found our bottom just yet based off the way this thing is dropping. It does look a little bit bearish. I do think we're going to get a nice bounce for tomorrow, but we are going to continue on this downward trend in the future, in my opinion. But we do have these gaps. Why? Because we are going to recover eventually. It's not the end of the world. It's just a temporary moment where we have the opportunity to buy these dips, buy stocks for cheap, such as NIO. So what happened to NIO today is a spectacle. Let me show you this right here. NIO opened up very strong, very, very strong. Look at the way this thing ran. We were around what? The $13 range. We pushed all the way up to $14.35. Very nice push from the very beginning. Why was this? It's because of the fact that, look, the market was a little bit green in the very beginning, despite the bad news that came out with CPI. And NIO also announced this. NIO announced the expected listing date for its proposed secondary listing on the Singapore exchange. So you need to mark your calendar for May 20th. Okay, May 20th, NIO should be listed on the Singapore exchange. That is huge news. It's opening more doors for more investors, and I do think that this could be a very bullish catalyst for that day. Maybe NIO can make a nice move on that day. Just putting it out there. That doesn't mean we're going to be bullish for the next few weeks. It means that we could see lots of sideways action, but for the long-term future, this is going to be an incredible catalyst. It's going to really put NIO out there and push the share price up. But for now, we're not in a position where we're just going to be green, green, green every single day. And here's the reason why. Look at this right here. Fear and greed index. This was at 26, now it's at 20. The lower the number goes, it's a different chart from what you're used to. When the number is low, it means we're more fearful. When it's high, we're more greedy. The number dropped from 26 to 20, showing the market's even more fearful than before. And this drop was in anticipation of the new price action we saw. The price action also happened particularly because of this. This wasn't the only reason. This was just one of the many reasons. But we're seeing this right here. Inflation was at 8.3% in April. That's insane. The expectation should have been 8.1%, so it's still higher than expectations. But the good thing is it is starting to kind of flatten out or slow down. compared to before. It was at 8.5% during the last report. So it is kind of starting to flatten. We did kind of hit the plateau, hopefully. So as a result of this, the reason why the market wasn't happy about this is it was still higher than expectations. And it shows that if inflation is too high, the Fed is going to have to be a lot more hawkish. Now, looking at something else, we have the producer price index coming out for tomorrow. If you don't know what that is, the producer price index measures the change in prices of goods sold by manufacturers. It is an indicator of the CPI data, believe it or not, and it does play a big role in inflation. So if we go back to right here for the PPI data, producer prices, you could see there's been this increase every single month. It's been going up and up and up and up, just like CPI. But CPI, it did drop a little bit. We did see a slight drop, right? We did see this thing kind of CPI did drop for the last report today. So hopefully this does drop a little bit. And I don't think this is going to be as impactful, but this could be a good sign for the markets. Now, as for NIO, this will have an effect on the company. And I do think that there are two main possibilities for how this thing could run. And then I'm going to give you guys my price prediction based off that. So I'm going to show you if this thing runs, what happens. If it drops, what happens, then what my price prediction is. So looking at NIO, remember this. If we start running, we have resistance at $12.86, $13.12, $13.34 up to $13.50. There's lots of resistance on the way up. But then we also have, let me see, some resistance at 14.16. So I've probably just removed 13.34 just for this one, but just put it like this. There's a lot of resistance on the way up. NIO does have the potential to break past it as it did today once the time is right. But right here, I want to talk about this. If we end up dropping, NIO has support at 12.50. If 12.50 doesn't hold us, then there's the $12 flat range. And if that doesn't hold us, it's going to be 11.75. So those are those are the main support and resistance levels. What could happen based off CPI? I'm sorry, PPI. So when PPI comes out, this could be a thing that affects the market. There's a bullish and bearish possibility. Let's go over that first before I talk about what my price prediction is. So if this thing is kind of bullish for tomorrow, it's possible we get a nice push up like this, have some resistance in this range. Maybe 13.5 causes a bit of a rejection. And if the market's a little bit more on the bullish side, it's possible we push up to 13.75 to 14. It's possible we get a bit of a rejection. We drop like this. We start dropping later in the day, which often is what ends up happening. And what could happen is we could turn red near close, get a nice bounce and a push at the very end. And I wouldn't be surprised if NIO actually ended up closing around 13 to 13.5, a little bit in the green, right? That's the more bullish possibility. Then I'm going to show you the more bearish possibility. Then I'm going to give you my prediction. So just bear with me for 1 second. Let me just change the color of this to red. Like that. Okay. So what on earth would happen if PPI, producer price index data, is really bad and the market were to take a hit? What could happen to NIO is this. It's possible we get a nice push in the opening, then a rejection, and we trade a little bit sideways, and then we start pushing down. Then we have that 12.5, $12.50 range trying to hold us up. We even drop a little below that. Possible we drop as low as $12 for the low of the day, get a bounce off of it, trade kind of sideways throughout the rest of the day, and we end up closing just like this, a little bit around that mid to low $12 range. So that would be a more bearish possibility. So what do I think is going to happen? Well, considering that CPI is cooling down and we aren't seeing too many, meticulous expectations of PPI data, I don't think it's going to be that bad. And I do think that this bullish possibility is more likely to happen. So for my prediction, I think this is what's most likely going to happen. I think we're going to see a nice green day for tomorrow, at least slightly in the green, considering the fact that NIO could run as high as $14 in 1 day based off the news that came out. It is still very capable of running, and I do think the market's going to see temporary relief for tomorrow. So I predict the blue line is going to be the way NIO moves, and I am going to be a little bit more on the bullish side for tomorrow. So be on the lookout for this. Be on the lookout for a nice push to the upside, a rejection, followed by some sideways action and a bit of a green day, maybe a closing around 13.5. I could be completely wrong, but I just do this for your guys' sake. You guys have requested this. Now, when it comes to NIO, remember, they have been recognized as a visionary manufacturer with the ET7 and NIO powered DC charger winning the Two Good Design Awards. That's Two Good Design Awards and being named amongst the best new car and transportation designs of 2021. So I'm putting it out there. They're still a fantastic company. They're very, very much improving every single day. The company keeps on growing, and we're very excited for what they're going to do for the future. The short term may be shaky, but the long term, in my opinion, is very, very bright. So I have not lost faith in this company. I'm still very bullish for the long term, and this is a very good buying opportunity. Just note that the bottom hasn't been found yet. We could dip a little bit in the next few days or the next week or so. So there will be more buying opportunities. I like the dollar cost average down, allowing me to buy more shares. This is a very good chance, so get ready before this thing takes off. With that out of the way, thank you for listening. The future is still bright for this company, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.